Hello everybody, this is Vandana Yadav working as a legal intern with Lexis & Company, and today I have come up with a small and informative topic which is known as the categorization of properties under the Hindu law. Under the Hindu law, the property that a Hindu male may possess can be of two types. One is a separate property and the other is a joint family property. There are three other properties which we'll be talking about. The first is coparcenary property. We have a joint property and we have a joint family ancestral property. So coming to separate property, it is owned by a person exclusively and he enjoys absolute powers of disposal over it. He can sell it, he can mortgage it, he can gift it to somebody, he can bequeath it under a will to anyone, or he can donate it for a charitable or a religious purpose or for some public benefit. As per the laws of inheritance or testamentary succession, in case he leaves behind a will, and not by the doctrine of survivorship. So in a separate property, the doctrine of survivorship has no role at all. The other is the joint family property. As the name suggests, the property is held jointly by the members of the family. All members of a joint family have one or the other right over it, which are not equal with respect to each other. The rights of the members are there, but they are not equal. In case there is no such property owned collectively by a joint family, the coparceners can pool in their separate property, throw it in what is called the common stock, with a clear intention to deprive themselves of their individual or exclusive right over it. Such a property will also be called a joint family property. But female members and non-coparcenary male members cannot throw in their separate properties into their common stock. Just to tell you that the Hindu Succession Act was amended in 2005, and after 2005 the female members could also become a coparcener, but before 2005 it was only the male members who could be a coparcener. Coming to a joint property. A joint property is it's not necessary here that the owners of the joint property should be family members. They can be distant relatives, they can be cousins, or they can be business partners, and for that matter they can even be strangers. So this is a joint property. A joint family ancestral property. A joint family ancestral property has basically two characteristics. The first is that it is a joint family property, and the second is that it is ancestral. Now the word ancestral here denotes that the property had come to the joint family from an ancestor. Hence it signifies the pre-existence of the property within the family or with the ancestor of the family. And with reference to Hindu law, two things become very important here. The first is that who was this ancestor, and the second is that what was the mode of the devolution of the property from this ancestor to the joint family members. Coparcenary property. Coparcenary property is the joint family property plus the joint family ancestral property, collectively or individually, is called the coparcenary property. This property is collectively owned by the coparceners, and therefore to own an interest in the ancestral or the joint family property, a Hindu male must be a coparcener. Unlike a separate property where the title and the enjoyment vest in the same person, here in a coparcenary property the title vests with the coparceners, but the right of enjoyment the right of enjoyment is with all the joint family members. Only a coparcener can hold a coparcenary property. Moreover, coparcenary property is jointly owned by the coparceners. There is collective title, there is collective possession, there is collective rights of disposal over it. In a coparcenary property, the holder's son, his grandson and his great-grandson, they acquire a right of ownership by birth. Though owned by the coparceners, it is enjoyed not only by the coparceners but also, as we have discussed, by other members of the joint family who are not its owners. On the death of the coparcener, his interest in the coparcenary property is taken by the surviving coparceners under the doctrine of survivorship, and the laws of inheritance do not apply. Thank you. Hope you liked the video of today.